you're meeting with someone.
Oh.
Gosh.
I think it's because you know what this is all about. So if y'all know, like on TikTok and stuff, on the Creative Fund, and even on Facebook now pays you, but it's just to get you to do stuff, and then
To
once
do
they
the
got you, once they
lives.
got you hooked, then they take it away.
Yeah.
So it's like never count on it forever. You
No,
know,
no.
they take it away.
Yeah.
So again, do something that's going to raise your vibration. Think happy thoughts. Sing. Sing is really good. Singing helps open up that throat chakra, which helps you with your communication. Also, pop open your third eye and help you with your visualization. So I find singing really helpful. And I can't sing a lick, but I think I can by myself. The neighbors aren't real happy. Energy. You as a sitter should work on your energy before you go to a
Yeah.
session. Energy. You as a sitter should work on your energy before you go to a
Yeah.
session.
Yeah.
So I try to explain that to people. Like when I was in Kansas City this past weekend, I would tell people if they didn't understand something, I'm like, don't think about it. The minute you start thinking about it, you block me because you're retracting your energy to think about something. Don't do that. If you don't get it, just remember it and move on. Don't try to make it fit. I'm going to give you what I get. If I get a no, I'm fine with that because trust me, if it's meant for you, they're going to bring it to you. Seen it a million times. So, try to, if you want to get a good reading or get a reading during a session, that is the best advice I can give you is to stay open to your medium. Stay open. Don't think about too much. Just be. And if before you go, like a lot of people bring all kind of accoutrement in their purses, in their wallets, in their packs, rings, jewelry. I've had people bring ashes or jewelry with ashes. I've had them bring cards and letters, shirts, clothing, shoes to readings, so again, that might help a little, but it doesn't mean the medium's necessarily going to validate that. But you can't think about it. You have to try to just allow your mind to be and put your energy out there. Don't sit there like this.
I've done that before in a reading.
Because
That's how I know.
you're blocking
Yeah.
you're blocking your energy from reaching the medium.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
and honestly, if you're somebody and like you just keep telling me no or you didn't know you're not really answering me, I'm just gonna tell you goodbye. And that has to be that'll be in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So that is a policy of mine. I'll give you up to the first 15 minutes of your session to tell me this isn't working for you, and I will refund you. After 15 minutes, nope. Because you've let me read how long, and none of this meant nothing to you. So that isn't one of my policies. Is that
it's a good policy.
that if you have to let me know within 15 minutes if this isn't right for you, because if not, you're blocking me from letting this go. So if you're making me work and it's not meaning anything to you, then that's a problem. You should have said something and let me try to regenerate, and I will try that. If I'm not hitting you for some reason, I think that's happened twice. I will regenerate. But I've also had people who said I didn't get anything right. Then they call me back a year later. You ain't gonna believe what you told me, and they cry. I'm like, oh, But
yeah.
So I will say that to you. Folks, it's not up to them. Don't ever play stump the medium because you're only going to hurt your reading. You're going to waste your money. Be open to your medium. Now, don't feed them anything, but don't be like,
Right.
oh, they didn't say it 100% exact.
Or be in a really bad
Right,
place.
right.
Like you've gone through a terrible time in your life, not because you lost somebody, but because of job or this or that.
Right.
I don't think that's the time to go get a reading
No.
because that is like that block. Like,
Right.
okay, what? What else? You want to just be open.
Right. And open doesn't mean giving the medium any information.
No.
It means because the way a mediumship reading works, it's a flow of energy between the spirit, the medium, and the sitter. And the spirit's not just touching the medium, they're touching you too. And so it's a blending of your loved one, you, and the medium together, sensing each other, feeling each other, making a energetic connection with each other. If you block it, why are you doing that? I mean, it's like, are you trying to waste your money? I mean, are you just trying to prove a point to your friends? I've literally had women who come for tarot readings who remove all their rings off the finger. They sit there like this. and they don't say anything. You tell me. You tell me. What do you see? Which one of my family is that? And I'm just like, oh, okay. Really? Go. Here's your money. It's 15 minutes. Go.
Right.
Go. It's like this is useless. I'm not here to prove that I can do mediumship. I am not here to prove to a sitter that I can read a tarot card. I'm here to assist you with closure. I'm here to help you heal. I'm here to give you some avenues to consider in your life that might help enrich your life and help you go onto the proper path. And I will make predictions in that path, in those sayings, and that's what makes you psychic. A psychic is not someone who just gives you good health advice. A psychic is going to be able to see what's ahead of you and tell you what's coming, then give you advice on how to avoid it or lessen the blow. Mm-hmm. And so that's why you go see a psychic. A medium is going to give you validations of life on the other side, but also should do that with compassion and love to help you heal. It's not a test for us. And a lot of people treat it as such. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've had a few clients like that, and I'm like, why are you testing me? I'm like, I've been doing this for a long time. I said, I can bring you references galore. Why are you testing me? You just don't think it works for you? Well, then it's not. There are many non-believers. Penn and Teller, James Rand. These are all people. James Rand offers you $1 million if you can prove to him that you are connecting to spirit. Well, you'll never prove it to him because he doesn't believe it. Mm-hmm. If you don't believe, it doesn't work for you. Right. It's not meant for you to understand. And until you take the journey and walk it, then you will understand it. I mean, if I would have, what would have happened to my phone? But you heard at the beginning of this podcast, my phone moved by itself from where I was sitting to the other end of the table, witnessed by Zeta, who was at my house right before Jill came. Zeta was here. We were discussing things and doing things on the computer, and my phone, after I hung up with Stacy, moved to the other side of the table by itself. Now, if it would have been me, not being, not understanding that this can happen, I would have been like, Zeta, you had to move it. You bitch, you had to move it. Not yelled out like, were you trying to mess up with my head? No, because I know she didn't. I was having a conversation with her. Mm-hmm. So I know she didn't do it. And I know these kind of things happen in my house. But somebody like James Rand or Penn and Teller would swear she moved it without them being aware of her of moving it. And so that's what I'm saying. So if you want to walk this path, you have to open up to it. That's my biggest point. Mm-hmm. You have to open up. Now, is there bullshit out there? Absolutely. You're going to run into people who are way, way the hell out there. That's okay. That's their life. Let them on their journey. You walk down the middle and you pull the pearls to you that you need for you to do better for yourself. And one of the things that I teach in mediumship is being able to walk down that path in the middle and take a pearl from what is good, but definitely avoiding the way out there stuff. I mean, the things that, and what I mean by way, I don't mean that because it's spiritually things happen. I'm talking the way out, like people who only see things one way. They got blinders on like this, and they're not open to the experience. They don't understand how the energy works. They don't understand how it's not just you doing it. I mean, that the person the sitter has a piece in it too, just like the spirit does. You have to be able to understand the three-dimensional pieces of it and how they all interact. And there's a science behind that.
I think Debbie had a question.
Yes, that's what I'm getting ready to look. Yeah. Do you find as a medium that since there is so much going on in your that it's hard for someone to read you? No, I get, well, so here's the thing. Am I hard to read? I shouldn't be.
Well, I just did it.
Yeah, you just did it. Jill just did it, but Jill's good. So, but in general, so let me tell you, there's only, okay, I read tarot, and I think that I do really well with it. So a lot of you think it because you come to see me a bunch of times. However, I don't think all tarot readers are good because some of them are just advisors, and I think that you might have heard other mediums talk about this, but some of the psychics up there, they're advisors. They see something and they want to fix you. I won't just fix you. I will show you the path, and I will tell you exactly what's going to happen to you that's going to cause it. So a psychic has to be able to make predictions. If you go to a psychic and they're just trying to make you feel good, then that's not a good psychic. They need to tell you what's going on in your business, what's going on in your life, and what you see coming, and these things need to happen. Now, the whole time is not straight predictions. Sometimes it's what they do is they'll make a prediction, then they'll talk about the path to it. Okay, so that's okay, but they have to make at least 2 or 3 good predictions in a session. Mediumship wants to give at least 3 to 4 concrete validations, meaning that no one else can do that information but that medium. Yes, we're going to get what I call the mediocre ones, because that's when we're understand how the energy flow works. We attach to the energy, we get the initial feelings and senses, but then as you start validating, we start connecting deeper between you and the spirit. That energy connection between the 3 of us starts growing. So we should start seeing more stuff and more stuff. If you shut down at any time, or if the spirit shuts down because they don't want you to know something, or if you shut down because you got stuff going in your life, it'll shut off the whole it'll throw the whole reading off a bit. You can still give some generics. What are generics? I see a male that's passed. That's generic. I see this person passed by illness, but there's only 4. You're going to get 1 of them. Okay? So let me explain to you about what I mean by the good information. Okay. I got a guy named John here. I think John died from a heart attack. I feel pain in my chest. I think this guy had chest issues. He definitely had heart issues. That's average. John, the man with the heart attack that I feel here, he passed from. He actually had a heart attack. He had surgery. I see triple bypass. They removed veins from one leg, but it wasn't good, so they had to go to the other leg. That's 100%. If that you get a yes. So you see what I'm saying? So you build the power between you and the sitter. So when I get mediums, and this is something that a lot of mediums do. In fact, I had a student in my last class. I don't know if she's on tonight, but I'm not going to say her name. But I had a student in the last class who gave so much information when they first rolled out that there was no growth that could happen. There was no building of the power between the spirit and between the sitter. You know, she came out and gave like concrete information and would not budge from it. And it was her initial thought. Rather than allowing the power to build, allowing the power, you know, yes, I got a male here. I think that definitely is a relative. I think that he had a heart attack. I think his name is John. I think John had triple bypass surgery. There was some complications because they had to go down both legs because one leg didn't hold the veins that were needed. Okay, that is good information, but you don't start out. I wouldn't go in there and say, I got a guy named Johnny, he had triple bypass. No, I'm going to start with the heart attack because I'm building the power. I'm building the energy in the reading. And a lot of mediums don't get that, even though I try to explain it many different ways in class, right, Jill? Mm-hmm. Some people don't get it.
Because I did it.
Right, because Jill did it.
And he stopped me.
And I stopped her.
5 times.
Yeah, stopped her like 5 times and made her start over.
Made me start over because he's like, you can't do it that way. Which is really good. I mean, I really do try to adhere to that.
Right, and again, it's because you want to build the power. I don't want to come out there and give you a whole life story and say, who understands that? That'd be like me coming out, I'm going to do it for you right now. Who out there, let me shut my eyes and see, who out there has a grandfather in spirit that was a fisherman down in the parishes, okay, like below St. Bernard is where I'm seeing this, and he was missing a tooth on the right side of his mouth, and I believe that he had some German in him. Who understands that? All of it. Look, I got nobody.
You got nobody. Too much information.
I gave too much. Now watch this. Who out here has a grandfather that fished in the parish but yet had some health issues? Who understands that? I know I got at least one out there that understands that. I'm waiting. I don't see a yes up there. Does anybody understand that? This person would have lived down in...
Not me.
Not me, no. I don't think it's you, Hope. Actually, I think I'm with Celeste. Celeste, are you still on?
She might be having trouble because she said back a few minutes ago, so
Okay.
she might have gone off again.
I think this is for Celeste because as I started to feel it, her picture started popping up in my head.
Me, there she is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it is you. You understand that, Celeste? You're the grandfather that fished. So again, my point with saying this and showing that. Yeah, and yeah, it could have been Uncle Brownie too. Yeah, because I had an uncle that did that too, and I have family out there, not realize that. But anyway, so what I was saying to you, that's what I'm saying. Like you didn't understand it when I first came up, but when I pulled back the story and allowed the story to start flowing out, then you can understand. Then I could actually get into like once I got the yes, and I make that connection with the sitter, then their spirit can step in and start blending more with, because there might be three of y'all that has that, that essence. That essence of the older gentleman who was the fisherman but Uncle Brownie didn't die of illness. I know how Uncle Brownie died. I don't want to put that out there because that's a good one. So I'll wait for the medium to tell me that one. But anyway, so, and that's what I mean by it. Like you have to let the story unfold. You have to let the energy build between you and the sitter and the spirit, and you have to let that build up. And you can't give too much. You start with a little bit of information. I usually like to give things like the relationship, the sex, something about the way they died. And once I got that, who understands it? And then once somebody one, two, three, or five acknowledge it, then you're pulling those people's energy closer to you, and you're starting to have their spirit people step in more closer to you, and the information, and whoever gets the closest to you on what you can relate to as a medium is the one that will get the closest to you, and that's where the information unfolds. And so I'm just trying to get y'all to understand how it works. It's not, if you get a bad reading, it's not always the medium's fault. It could be yours. It could be the spirit. It could be a lot of things. Think about that. And we teach that in higher level mediumship on how to understand the positions. Like what is the spirit's role? What is the sitter's role? What is the medium's role in a reading? What's really going on? And it's very, if you really think about it, it all makes sense. I mean, how many times do you have something land on you don't know it, but then you connect to it because you see it, and now you're starting to feel it. You know what I mean? So your senses, they weigh in on it as you get more aware of the connection. So it's the same concept. It is the same connection. When you're doing a reading, you want to bring out the information a little bit, get a validation, get the speaker to voice, let the sitter voice that they understand. That pulls the energy closer. It helps you blend with that. Their spirit people step forward and start blending in and giving you more images, more feels, and then more of the story unfolds. That's what really happens during a mediumship reading. So if you're coming to a reading, always be awake, alert, aware. Clear your mind the best you can. Yes, you can bring accoutrement, you can bring the rings, the jewelry, the watch, the shoes, the clothes, whatever you want to bring in of the person, their ashes. I've had people bring urns. I really have. Like, could have left that home, but anyway. So,
they want to make sure you get them.
Yeah, so people bring that, and it does help when you have something that your loved one can relate to. It doesn't mean you can get the reading, and it doesn't mean that the medium's going to be able to speak of that, because the medium has to have a symbol for that, or have a feel for it, or it has to be shown. So I've literally had people tell me in a reading, actually it was reverse. He didn't tell me I was fake. He told me he knew I was real because I mentioned St. Francis in a reading, and it just came out. And he goes, "Yes, I told my grandmother that if she got you to say St. Francis, I knew you were for real." I'm like, "For real?" I'm like, "You really?"
Yeah.
So what are the odds of that?
30 years ago.
Yeah, what are the odds of that?
Yeah.
But anyway, so again, have no expectation. Go to your reading and blend well with your medium. Do you want to do another one before we go? I still got a pack.
I think we'll call it a night. It's almost
Okay.
9:30.
Do you have any questions for us before we go?
I do want to say though, I have been doing on the Nickel Tree at 6 o'clock Central on Sunday nights. If y'all want to pop in, I do questions and cards and stuff like that on the Nickel Tree.
So Hazel says, do you do customized readings?
Yes.
Define customized. like so if I'm doing mediumship, and I will always ask, if you're doing a session with me at the end, is there someone I didn't bring through that you would like to hear from? And I'll try. I don't make any guarantees. Once I bring somebody through and I give you validations and it's been more than 15 minutes, that's a reading. So, because that way, there's no refund after that point, because you didn't say, but at the end, yes, I can usually bring in somebody. I'm about 98% able to do that, I would say, because it's a percentage thing, because they got to find a way to connect to me. Do I do other readings? Yes, I do tarot, mediumship, numerology. I do a combo that brings them all. We can customize it to what you want. Some people don't like the cards because they get spooked by them because they've been to church too much and listened to that preacher. So I don't have to use the cards. I can push the cards aside, just sit there and play with my rock and just talk to you. So it depends on what you want customized. But yes, I can customize. And let's see. The next question is, can you connect with the spirit?
Can you connect with the spirit
sitter
ask?
Well, that's what I was saying. So at the end, I'll give you that chance and I'll try. It's not guaranteed. Like if you're only coming to me to hear from that one person, and that's the whole reason, then I would tell you save me, because I can't guarantee they're going to come through. I'll try for you. At the end, I will say, and I'm about 98% of the time I can connect to that person. Okay, but I mean, and it might not be able to connect well, because again, it's a blending between you, me, and them. If for some reason, if I can't sense or feel that person, because maybe they were very different than me, or maybe they were a different character than I was, the senses are not easy to read. And so see, it's a three-way connection. But usually, yes, usually like 98% of the time I can. How you ever had messages come over the radio? Have you ever had messages? Oh, all the time. They play songs for you. When we do paranormal investigation, we get the scatter thing that is a radio, and you hear the spirit speak words in it. So yes, I mean, I've done all. I have done. This has come from Mary. I have done all types of sessions. I've done physical mediumship. I used to do table tipping. I've sat in live seance. I've had people's loved ones appear right in front of them and kiss them on the forehead. You can feel the mustache from the person that passed. Kiss it when they get kissed on the forehead. And I had this woman's son's hand crawl up my leg, pulling on my pants, and then went over to her next to me. The lady sitting next to it was her child, and she got to hold her child's hand while the kid talked to her in his voice. Aww. So I have seen all, because I traveled the world to see these things. Let's see. Hi, Amanda. Have you ever had messages come from? Yeah, we read that one.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean, guys, the spirit world is evolving just as we evolve. Are you ever creeped out? No, never creeped out. Once you get used to it, like earlier with the phone moving in my house, with Zeta here, my phone just moved by itself. It's an everyday thing. Yes, I have trained at Arthur Findlay. Yes, I have. And I actually used to bring in one of the tutors. I brought in a couple of the tutors actually from Arthur Findlay here to New Orleans to teach. Because I used to bring in people from Arthur Findlay, and I used to take my students also to other places they would come to in America to go study. I actually took a group to go see your favorite, Mavis Patella, before she passed.
Well, you're going to be taking me to England too.
Yes, I would take you to England too. I am. I'm going to take Jill to England. Y'all want to go to England? So again, anything is possible. There are many forms of mediumship. There's trance mediumship, which we're going to do a little bit of that on the cruise, and prep you. And I'm going to give you a teacher to go study with post the cruise if you would like to learn more about trance mediumship. There is physical mediumship, where physical phenomena takes place. I'm able, when I go into deep trance, and this was going to freak you up, I can actually push my spirit guide out so you can see with the naked eye. I'm going to do that one day for you, Jill.
Okay.
I have to get down. I'll get it for you one day. I can push him out
And,
so
and
you
just
can
to let
see.
everybody know,
Yes.
like 2 years ago, I'd be scared to death if somebody told me that.
So I was like, take me too. Well, come on, Debbie. And then, is the cruise full? No, anybody can join the cruise.
No.
It's a cruise ship. It's big. Yeah, no, the cruise is not full. I think I could probably handle
Okay.
about 15 more people in classes. We have enough room to hold like maybe 15 more people to come to the class. But you can bring your family and friends on the cruise with you. So again, just go on my website and call Nicole up and she'll hook you up, and go online and look at the price first, because it's been dropping because it's getting close. So they're trying to fill up all the rooms. So you might get a great deal. You know, and if you've already signed up and you see it drop, you can try, but you got to pay for it all at once. That's the thing. There's no, because it's so close, you can't make partial. You know, you can finance it though through that thing, but you can't do like a payment to the cruise company. They got to get paid in full, because it's less than 100 days. It's like what, 45, 50 days,
Yeah.
60 days
That's
left.
pretty close.
It's close. It's in April, so.
Yeah.
It is close. So yes, come on the cruise with us. Have fun. What's my website? sid-patrick.com. And if you look up Sid Patrick Medium, you Google it, it's going to come up. If you go on YouTube, you can find me on Touching Eternity, the podcast, and you'll see the little angel. That's how you know you got me. You'll see the pink angel in the background. That's my advertisement back there. That's Denise watching over me, making sure I don't get too crazy online. All right, folks. So sid-patrick.com. But it is getting late and I have to pack because I have to go to Mississippi tomorrow. So thank you for joining me tonight on Touching Eternity, the podcast. I'm your host, Sid Patrick, with my beautiful guest, Jill Mercer.
Jill Mercer,
The
Nickel
lovely
Tree.
Jill Mercer from the Nickel Tree. She is absolutely wonderful. You should go listen to her stories, because she will help you with your mediumship, because you can start sharing stories with her in the comments.
You can.
You can.
Message me, and
Message.
a lot of times I tell you a story. I ask first, though, and then I'll tell them. Yeah.
All right, folks. We love y'all. I'm keeping Jill out past my bedtime.
He's
We-
picking me up.
We love y'all. I will
Thank
see
you.
y'all soon. At least maybe before next Wednesday, because we